Brethren, perhaps there is no greater compliment we could receive from the Lord than to know he trusts us to be worthy priesthood holders and great husbands and fathers. One thing is for certain, earning the Lord's trust is a blessing that comes through great effort on our part. Trust is a blessing based on obedience to God's laws. Earning the Lord's trust comes as a result of being true to the covenants we have made in the waters of baptism and in the holy temple. When we keep our promises to the Lord, his trust in us grows. I love both ancient and modern day scriptures that use the phrase integrity of heart when describing a righteous person's character. Integrity, or the lack of integrity, is a fundamental element of one's character. Men who have integrity of heart are men to be trusted because trust is built on integrity. Being a man of integrity simply means your intentions as well as your actions are pure and righteous in all aspects of your life, both in public and in private. With each decision we make, we either merit more of God's trust or diminish his trust. This principle is perhaps most clearly manifest in our divinely appointed responsibilities as husbands and fathers. One day, soon after my mission, I was working in the factory when my father called me into his office and asked if I would like to go with him on a business trip to Los Angeles. This was the first time my father invited me to accompany him on a business trip. He was actually letting me go out in public to help represent the company. Before we left on the trip, he prepared me with a few details about this potential new client. First, the client was a multinational corporation. Second, they were upgrading their production lines worldwide with the latest in automation technology. Third, our company had never previously supplied them with engineering services or technology. And finally, their top corporate officer in charge of purchasing had called this meeting to review our bid on the new project. This meeting represented a new and potentially important opportunity for our company. After arriving in Los Angeles, my father and I went to the executive's hotel for the meeting. The first order of business was to discuss and analyze the engineering design specifications of the project. The next discussion item concerned operational details, including logistics and delivery dates. The concluding agenda item focused on pricing, terms, and conditions. This is where things got interesting. This corporate officer explained to us that our price proposal was the lowest of those who had submitted bids on the project. He then, curiously, told us the price of the second lowest bid. He then asked us if we would be willing to take our proposal back and resubmit it. He stated that our new price should come in just below the next highest bid. He then explained that we would split the newly added dollars 50-50 with him. He rationalized this by saying that everyone would win. Our company would win because we would be making considerably more money than our original bid provided. His company would win because they would still be doing business with the lowest bidder. And of course, he would win by taking his cut because he put this great deal together. He then gave us a post office box number where we could send the money he requested. After all of this, he looked at my father and asked, "So do we have a deal?" Much to my surprise, my father stood up, shook his hand, and told him we would get back to him. After leaving the meeting, we got into the rental car, and my father turned to me and asked, "Well, what do you think we should do?" I responded by saying, "I didn't think we should accept this offer." My father then asked, "Don't you think we have a responsibility to all of our employees to maintain a good backlog of work?" While I was contemplating his question, and before I could answer, he answered his own question. He said, "Listen, Rick, once you take a bribe or compromise your integrity, it is very difficult to ever get it back. Don't ever do it, not even once."